welcome back. It's Maxine, your spiritual astrologer, sharing astrology in a more empowering and soul-centered way. And I'm so looking forward to sharing about this super special Capricorn full moon with you on July 21st, 2024, but whenever you are watching this, trusting it is divine timing, I'm going to be talking about transits that influence you, these energy shifts that influence you through the end of July and into August. You'll notice this is a little bit different than how I usually structure these if you've been listening for a while now, because this is our second Capricorn full moon of the season. So instead of getting really in depth into all 5 spiritual messages, I'm going to instead share with you some journaling prompts. So you'll get 5 journaling prompts because, as you'll find out, this is a really, really important full moon for self-reflection. And it really is this full moon that's giving you a second chance, an opportunity to really do that reflection so you don't miss out on this powerful opportunity for change. And also, if you haven't already signed up for my free moon horoscopes, I send those out for every new and full moon, and you read for your zodiac sign. You can go to MaxineLuthia.com to sign up there, and you'll see other ways to learn astrology with me if you're interested, to book a reading. All of that is there. Okay, so let's get into the episode. Why is this Capricorn full moon so special? So I spoke about this a little at the start. This is why this episode is a little different than usual, but we've already had that Capricorn full moon, the first one, back on June 22nd. So now, about 30 days later, we're having the second Capricorn full moon. And that is not usual. Every once in a while, we get this repeated full moon in the same zodiac sign. It's the universe not being subtle, trying to get our attention, trying to help us to wake up to something that we kind of are closed off to. Because ordinarily you only get one full moon in that zodiac sign each year. So we had one June 22nd, and okay, ordinarily you'd have to wait a whole year for the next one in 2025. But now with this double Capricorn full moon, it's kind of the universe is putting something in your face. It's trying to really get your attention. You can't look the other way. You can't just brush past it. We're getting this double dose of this Capricorn full moon energy, which I'll talk about in a moment here. But that is why it's so special. You're getting the second chance. You're seeing really clearly what is it at this full moon that's trying to get your attention. And so it's not something you can easily just look the other way or ignore. In some way, whether that's an internal shift you're feeling, emotions coming up, especially things that you've blocked or tried to repress coming to the surface, or it's something more obvious and external. There's a big change, there's something going on in a relationship or work or a situation that you see, you can't ignore that way. So this is a really important full moon to pause and to reflect, and especially to release, to actually surrender something, to let go, to move forward in some way. This full moon, because it's happening in the same zodiac sign, it just brings up similar themes, similar questions. And that is why we're reflecting back so much to that time period, end of June, when we had that previous full moon in Capricorn. So reflect back to that. If you've done some journaling for that or did some ritual or reflection, I encourage you to see what was coming up for you then. Or even if you just think back to that time, or you look in your phone and you kind of get your memory jogged, like, oh, that was what was coming up then. How is this full moon now, about a month later, July 21st, bringing something to the surface that needs to get your attention? Because it's not subtle. This full moon is at 29 degrees of Capricorn, the very last, that anaretic degree as it's called. So it's almost like there's some piece of the puzzle that you're not quite getting yet. And this full moon is really, again, it's in your face trying to get your attention. And then also on top of that, it's conjunct Pluto at 1 degree of Aquarius, that out of sign conjunction. So adding this force to it, where you might feel more of an emotional intensity or needing to face something, or there might be some realization that feels quite jarring in a way, or also empowering, really stepping into that and not ignoring something or putting something off, really letting yourself get clear on what it is that you need to do, like making some decision at this time. and kind of that elimination feeling too of needing to clear something out. And then also at the time of this full moon, we have Mercury retrograde, which is already ramping up at this time. The official dates of Mercury retrograde are from August 5th to August 28th. And that'll be the retrograde of Mercury backtracking from Virgo into Leo. So that's something we'll look at in the future. But what you need to know here is that we're already in the preshadow phase with this full moon on July 21st. So you're already feeling that sense of needing to slow down, maybe feeling frustrated, feeling a bit stuck in some way, wanting to move forward, but first having to take a breath, having to slow down, to pause, to clear things up, clear the air in some way, or really get clear on, wait, okay, backtracking a little bit. What is it you really actually want? Like, what does your soul want? What do you want? Rather than trying to figure out what others want of you. So that is something we'll talk about more in the next transit update, but I wanted to mention it because it is really important with this full moon, again, that you're getting into that slower pace for the upcoming month. The more you flow with that, the more you reflect on this now, then you're able to move forward in some way. But first you need to kind of take a few steps back, or there's something that you need to clear out, something that hasn't been working for a long time. Okay, so I'm gonna pause there. That's just a look at some of the other transits, energy shifts that are unique to this July 21st Capricorn full moon that we didn't see in the previous June 22nd full moon in Capricorn. But really the key thing to know is that similar themes may be coming up for you that you faced back in June. At this full moon, it's reached this point, this critical point where you need to look at it. You need to, perhaps there's emotional intensity coming up, some conflict, inner conflict, or just needing to really come to terms, to accept something, or to get clear on, again, what's getting in your way of moving forward to where you want to be, more long-term thinking at this time, and taking back personal authority for yourself and your life. So with that, I'm gonna get into the 5 key questions to ask yourself, journal prompts for that Capricorn full moon on July 21st. All the while thinking back to that previous full moon a month ago, June 22nd. Okay, what's perhaps ripened at this time that you really need to look at with some honesty and compassion for yourself? So I'm gonna share these one by one. Feel free to pause, write them down as we go, and see which one jumps out to you. You could journal on all of these or just a few. Really let yourself sit with these and see what comes up for you. Okay, so question number 1, journaling prompt number 1 for the Capricorn full moon is, what is worth the effort? What is my long-term goal? Again, pause if you need to. Question number 2, where do I need to be more disciplined? How can I create a plan and follow through? And question number 3, in what area of my life do I need to trust myself more? And question number 4, where do I need to release control? And question number 5, what am I hiding from? So those are the questions. You might notice if you listen to these updates every 2 weeks that I do, that these questions, these journal prompts are based off of those Capricorn full moon spiritual messages that I shared with you back on that first Capricorn full moon. So this is where that comes from. If you haven't already listened to that Capricorn full moon episode back in June, go back and listen to that, or refresh if you really want to get more out of this and reflect with new ears, fresh ears with this Capricorn full moon that we're at now. Because that first Capricorn full moon was just at the 1st degree of that zodiac sign. And now, about a month later, it's made that journey all the way to that final degree of Capricorn. So we've been on this journey, and these questions are going to help you to really reflect and make the most of what's coming up. What is it that, again, you are having the second chance at in some way to really look at it and decide for yourself, what is it that you want? What is worth the effort? What is your long-term vision and goal? And how are you going to get there? You know, what's blocking you? Where do you need to release control? All of these questions. But yeah, that's all I have for you for this shorter episode on the Capricorn full moon, July 21st. And hopefully it gives you some really practical, questions, some journaling prompts that you can really sink your teeth into and reflect on going into even August, just seeing what is coming up for you, what is blocking you from greater blessings. This is really a powerful Capricorn full moon to reflect, to clear out something that has just been getting in your way, that has been that brick wall for you, and just really giving yourself the grace to let something go that has been weighing on you for a long time. I hope that this has been helpful and served you in some way. If you want to go back and re-listen to the 5 spiritual messages for the Capricorn full moon back in June, again, that will really give more context to this reflection. So 10 out of 10 recommend that you go back and listen to that. That'll really help you to get the wheels turning and, you know, just dive deeper into these questions too. So thanks so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so happy I get to share astrology with you. Just so grateful. And I hope you have a magical rest of your day. Happy full moon. And until next time, bye.